My name's Jack.
I'm Rhianna. I'm Penny.
And for the STP program... Oh, sorry. We're going to cut that, can't we? Cut it. And for our STP project, okay, ready? And for our STP project, we've picked the basketball free throw. Star Spot. So in relation to the one-dimensional classification system, the basketball free throw is gross, but still on the fine skill spectrum. This is because it involves an intricate, precise movement of small muscle groups towards the end of the skill, but the majority of it is a whole body movement. It is also a discrete skill. This is because it's brief, has a well-defined action that has a beginning and an ending. And finally, it is a closed skill. It takes place in a stable environment, in a predictable environment, and the performer knows exactly what to do. Gentile's two-dimension taxonomy. This includes two specific parts: the environmental context and the function of the actions. In relation to the environmental context, the regulatory conditions of the basketball free throw are the ball itself, the dimensions of the court, position height of the ring and the backboard. In relation to inter-trial variability, there is no inter-trial variability. Even though the ball is in motion, the shot is made in the same direction from the same position each time. In relation to the function of the actions, the body orientation is stable, but the body is actually moving through the movement. In relation to object manipulation, this refers in this skill to the ball itself. The skill cannot be performed without this object.
Key aspects associated with the basketball free throw are balance of foot placement, arm structure, and the follow-through phase. The way we have chosen to measure performance is to tally the number of shots in the hoop, pre-test and post-test. By doing this, we gain a quantitative measure of performance. According to Fitt's 3 stages of learning, cognitive stage requires attention. During this stage, the learner attempts to understand how to perform the movement by understanding the nature of the skill through observation and verbal and sensory feedback. The expected outcome for the associative phase is for the learner to be able to modify or adapt the movement as needed, to be able to understand the various interrelating concepts such as hand placement on the ball and elbow angle, and be able to focus on the movement rather than the skill itself. The expected learning outcome for the autonomous stage is for the movement execution to become more automatic and for attention to be directed elsewhere, to be able to perform the movement consistently in a variety of different movement situations, and less errors present during performance.
In relation to augmented feedback, we use the bandwidth method, which is if the participant hits the black square of the backboard, no feedback will be given. Anything outside that, we will form recommendations to improve that. For example, if the ball goes into the hoop, we will praise them with such statements as nice work or great job.
During week 1, we focus on footwork and balance. We focus on keeping our feet shoulder width apart, knees over our feet and rising onto our tippy toes to finish. We use the cues, sit on the toilet and stand up from the toilet to help people make a fluent movement. During week 2, we focus on our hands and arms. It focuses on keeping a square elbow and making a T or W on the ball with our hands. To finish, we reach our hand up high above our head. We use cues such as beef, balance, eye, elbow, follow through to help people remember their form. In week 3, we focus on our wrist flick and follow through. This is important to create the right height and backspin of the ball. Our cue for week 3 is reaching into the cookie jar. This cue gives people an action to relate to. Week 4 is all about putting the components together to produce one fluent motion. It is important to put them all together so the learner gets a feel on how to correctly complete the skill.
Feet shoulder apart, left foot in front. Ball in front of your face, just below your eyes, bending your knees. As you're shooting and extending out of your crouch, make sure you push the ball up nice and high above your head, finishing with your hand reaching into the ring. All in one. Beautiful.
Practice composition and distribution. We're opting for short practice sessions over the week. In relation to variability and specificity, we're opting for 2 times 15-minute sessions, practice 4 to 5 times weekly. Each week is actually specific to a key aspect of the basketball free throw. Example, movement of the feet, movement of the body. The variability changes will be different distances, e.g. walking backwards, walking forwards, walking to the side. The retention test is a way of testing how well the skill has been learned after training has ceased and after the post-test. The retention period is usually a 2 to 3 week period where no training has been performed. In our project, we allowed a 2-week retention period before we did the test to see how well the skill had been acquired. The transfer test is the way to assess the adaptability aspect of the skill that had been learned. In relation to our skills training project, we got the skill which was a free throw, and we changed the position from the free throw line to the 3-point line.